David R. here. Today I'm going to talk to you about this book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, or it's Ruiz in English. This book is about changing your life through the four agreements, and I'll get to those in a minute. The author says that we are all living in a dream. Even while we're awake, we're still dreaming. And this dream is society's dream or the dream of the planet. Now, this dream includes society's laws, religions, beliefs, governments, culture, schools, you name it. Through the process of domestication, we learn by a process of rewards and punishment as well. We learn to obey these rules. And even when somebody's not around or we're not in the presence of people, and if we break one of those rules, we auto-domesticate. It means like we punish ourselves if nobody else is there to punish us. He says, whenever we hear an opinion and believe it, we make an agreement. That's where a false agreement might come in. If somebody tells you something bad about yourself, you may believe it and then start to live according to that particular agreement. He says that it becomes a belief system when you think that's who you are, that's how you feel, that's what you believe, and that's how you're going to behave as a result. He says there are four agreements. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. And the fourth agreement is always do your best. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Impeccability means without sin. The author says that the worst sin you can commit is the sin of self-rejection, which is a sin against yourself. He says that your word is the power to create. He said your word is a gift from God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. He says impeccability leads to life, lies lead to death. He says impeccability gives you the immunity to fend off spells or black magic. Black magic is like saying something bad about a person, gossip. He says this, he says if you accept a negative opinion, it becomes an agreement. And you put all your power into that agreement. And that opinion becomes black magic. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. When you agree with a person, you are taking whatever they said personally, and that becomes one of your agreements. And he says the thing that they tell you, whatever it is, like you're ugly or you're stupid or whatever, it's not about you. It's about them. Don't place so much emphasis on yourself. You know, what you need is like a force field around you. And whenever somebody says something, it just bounces off, you know, like a bullet bouncing off or an arrow going a different direction. That's it. Don't take it personally. He says that you will suffer for nothing. Freedom comes when you don't take things personally. This is a tough one for me. I do. I take some things personally, obviously. But I think we all do. You have to be a pretty good stoic to not take everything personally. Because to be honest, you can't control another person's behavior. You can't. People are going to do whatever they do. You know, for instance, you could ban all the guns in the world, ban all the knives. People will find a way to harm another person. You cannot control absolutely the behavior of another person. Even if they are locked in prison. I've been reading a book about a guy who was locked in prison because of his faith. Well, they still couldn't control him. He still had the power to believe as long as he was alive. And probably even after he's dead, they still can't control him because his spirit will have free will. Marcus Aurelius says, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The third agreement, don't make assumptions. We create a lot of emotional poison when we make assumptions. This lack of understanding, this assuming something that probably isn't real, has an impact on our relationships. According to PsychCentral.com, an assumption is something you believe in of which you don't have proof. Here are some classic assumptions that can hurt relationships. Believing you're being cheated on. Believing people are always trying to get money out of you. Believing you're being unappreciated. Believing your significant other knows what's in your head. See, we assume everyone sees life the way we do, but they don't. And that's kind of hard for us to grasp at times. No one can love us the way we assume we need to be loved. No one will look at a problem exactly the same way that we will look at a problem. Everybody's different, and that's the beauty of life. Just don't assume someone's doing something behind your back, or don't assume that something will happen when it might not. You can't control the behavior of others. You just can't. I can't. You can't. Nobody can. People are going to do whatever they do. They're going to think whatever they think. We can't control it. So don't make assumptions. The fourth agreement, always do your best. The author says that everything is alive and always changing. And sometimes you may give your best, but it may not be the best as your best before or your best that is to come. But always keep doing your best, because when you keep doing your best, there's nothing to regret. There's no way you can judge yourself. He says that action is living life fully. Inaction is denying life. God is life. And your life, your existence, proves the existence of God. I like that. He also says that your body is a manifestation of God. Honor your body and everything will change for you. Do you know that you are God's temple? That God's Spirit dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him. For God's temple is holy, and you are that temple. 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 17. In conclusion, the author of this book says to honor the 4 agreements. Defend the 4 agreements. And if you break an agreement, just start over the next day. Don't quit. Keep trying. And he says, don't be concerned about the future or what went on in the past. Be concerned with what you're doing today, how you can live today. You know, the future is unknown and the past is gone. We can learn from the past, but don't dwell on it and don't let it bring you down. Anyway, that's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.